Fire is one of the few things that strikes fear in even the most guarded of kindred souls. And no flame burns brighter in any vampire's memory than those during the nights of the First Inquisition. Perhaps one of your ancestors survived those dangerous nights and still finds the courage to speak out about them. Or perhaps you've been fortunate enough to come across tomes and texts detailing secrets long thought lost. Whatever the reason, your study of the events leading up to and surrounding the First Inquisition has been extensive, and to some extent, you know the tactics and calling cards of those ancient hunters. Though their methods and beliefs have changed, your understanding of the First Inquisition allows you to find patterns in how the Society of St Leopold operates. You are better able to avoid their raids, hiding in the shadows from even the most perceptive among them. Though it comes with great risk, your knowledge allows you to exert some amount of influence over, even manipulate, members of the Second Inquisition to a limited extent. Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and the Laws of the Night playlist. In this playlist, we go over LARP, live action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade, which are presented to us by Mind's Eye Theater and by Night Studios. So, Loresheets in the book are marked down as a special type of background advantage. You can buy these at character creation, or with your storyteller's permission, you can buy them after your character's already been in play for some time. This is something that you're going to want to talk to your storyteller about, because not all Loresheets will fit within the confines of a chronicle. Loresheets are a special way of not only giving your character a special advantage or advantages in gameplay, but also tying them in to the overall background meta plot within the Vampire the Masquerade storyline. I have found as a storyteller that Loresheets tend to be ignored at character creation just because it's a new mechanic and people don't exactly know what it is. Now, depending on when you're watching this, or even in your chronicle setting, this might not be true for you. You could very well have a game there people are obsessed with Loresheets, and with good reason. People who are used to playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition tabletop will know the benefits of Loresheets and exactly what they can do for your character. And there are several options in Laws of the Night and in future publications coming out from by Night Studios. That being said, I do want to point out that Loresheets are a lot different in LARP than they are in tabletop. In the tabletop setting of Vampire the Masquerade, Loresheets are going to add a special nuance to your character sheet. You might get a bump here and there in a background or even a discipline power because you have an associated Loresheet. However, in LARP, Loresheets tend to be a heavier hitting mechanic. They give you massive advantages. And they also should be something that are limited in a game. Maybe only allowing a certain number of people out of a larger group to take that amount. Or you could build an entire chronicle completely around a Loresheet. Another huge difference from tabletop to LARP is that, much like all other backgrounds in LARP, the Loresheets are limited to 3 different advantages instead of 5 as they are in tabletop, as there is a condensed way of running things, as with all backgrounds in LARP, compared to tabletop. Purchasing Loresheets can be done with your free points at character creation. At character creation, you get 7 free background traits, and you are completely allowed to dump those points into a lore sheet, getting those free dots. And I want to stress that very much because there's a difference between dots and experience traits. At character creation, you will be given a free amount of experience traits to flesh out your character, to make them an individual. And when you have those are to be spent as experience points. Backgrounds are purchased at 3 experience per dot. But with your 7 free traits of dots, you can just take the points completely without worrying about the expanded cost when it comes to experience. That being said, if you wanted to buy the Sect Veteran Lore Sheet, for example, taking that would cost you 6 of your 7 free dots of backgrounds. However, if you're going to buy it with your free XP at character creation, it would cost you 3 points for a level 1, 6 points for a level 2, and 9 experience points for a level 3. Bring the total to 18 points if you wanted to buy a complete lore sheet. Now, personally, I am the kind of person who likes to buy things little by little over time so that my character has a chance to grow into what those advantages are. That is my style of playing. It is not the only style of playing. And being able to start with a small amount of a lore sheet to build up the tension is a lot of fun. With that being said, you do not have to buy these in order of experience. You do not have to start with level 1. You could very well start with the 3-point background instead, because what these are associated advantages with the meta plot that your character can take advantage of in any order they wish. You could buy a 1, you could buy 1 and a 3, you could buy just the second one. You can do it any way you want to. And that needs to be kept in mind, that these are not a progression style trait. In that way, multiple characters could start with the same lore sheet and have completely different advantages for taking it. The First Inquisition is a turning point in World of Darkness history. We like to talk about how the First Inquisition was like how the Camarilla was formed, how the Sabbat was formed. It was brought on because of the Anarch Revolt and all this other stuff. But like, in truth, in World of Darkness, we're going after everyone. They were going after werewolves. They were going after mages. They were going after changelings. They were going after everyone. And the fact that you are able to use the knowledge either gained secondhand from an ancestor, a living ancestor, or from books that you were able to find, that you can now understand the methods of the Inquisition to the point where the Second Inquisition can be manipulated in a fashion is incredible. So let's go ahead and see exactly what type of benefits this lore sheet offers. Investing 1 dot into this lore sheet gets you Mistakes of the Past. You know a great deal about what happened in the First Inquisition, and can educate any vampire on its historic dangers. Once a month, you can ask the storyteller for information regarding the original Inquisition. If this ability is used in a situation when historical information or lessons about the First Inquisition would be helpful, the storyteller is encouraged to provide that information. While using your extensive experience and knowledge of the First Inquisition, you have trained yourself to be sensitive to people and places of faith. When you are within 1 mile of holy ground, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. If a character with true faith is in your line of sight, you become intensely alert. These indicators are subtle and don't give you the ability to pinpoint the source of faith, only its proximity. First and foremost to be said is true faith should be something rare. Even many priests don't tend to have absolute faith in what they're doing. But being able to sense that's useful. Not to mention an area of faith. You can sense it within a mile. It's an interesting way of looking at things, but I can also see very much the use in that kind of thing, especially if you're dealing with a hunter plotline. Investing 2 dots into this Loresheet get you the second act. Forewarned is forearmed. So you developed a mole in the Society of St Leopold. You have developed a 3-dot contact within the church sphere of influence with the at arm's length advantage. This person is connected to the Second Inquisition and may have information about their movements. You must be careful not to reveal yourself as a vampire to them. They will turn on you if they learn of your true nature. This Loresheet advantage is the exception to the rule, normally preventing contacts from being directly related to the hunter factions. So at 2 points, you have gained a contact within the Society of St Leopold. This could be a dispatcher. This could be a hunter themselves. It could be a priest who is open to that knowledge, but you keep them at arm's length. Perhaps you've talked them into believing that you're a chronicler and you're trying to make sure that the Second Inquisition is detailed, accounted for, more than the first one was. There's a lot of different ways you could do this, and it is going to come up to the way that you and your storyteller want to work this out. But I love the idea completely. It is a pretty hard and fast rule that characters cannot have contacts within hunter organizations, but the fact that this one allows you to break that rule opens up a whole world of opportunity. Investing 3 dots into this Loresheet gets you Black Spot. You have scouted locations within your domain that the Society of St Leopold either ignores or possibly fears. Once every 3 months, if you or any allies you wish to protect have been targeted by the Society of St Leopold, you can choose to hide out at this location. And the hunters will call off the search or lose track of you. Why? It could be for any number of reasons. You don't know, which should raise questions for you. These locations tend to change from time to time, making it impossible to benefit from this location by having a haven there. What exactly is out there that the Second Inquisition would be afraid of? Or maybe they've just decided that for some reason a supernatural would never go there for some reason. Maybe you're havening in a church that they don't go to. Who knows? Who really knows? That is, again, it's up to you and your storyteller to come up with a good reason. But the fact that this is something that might shift from time to time, making it so that you can't live in a place, that you can't actually haven there long term, does put a bit of a kind of a debilitating aspect to this Loresheet. But it's also very good if you need a quick place to hide while things run its course. So the Second Inquisition is being marked here as the Society of St Leopold, but I do want to point out that it is not just them. The NSA, the FBI, the CIA, the various government and church organizations throughout the world. It's not just the Society of St Leopold. The Second Inquisition is a mix, is a grouping of all of the different people who could cause trouble. Also, there isn't really just an SI. I want to point that out story-wise, is that these people still think they're fighting the First Inquisition. The Second Inquisition are just names that Kindred came up for it, or have even been passed on to some other characters, like some other supernaturals. I am Voivode Paquette. Thank you very much for joining me in this look at the Second Inquisition Loresheet, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Good evening.